Patrick, how would you describe this, kind of this recent series with the Bills? You get them in the playoffs, they get you in the regular season. You play them twice a year, it seems like, almost all the time. How would you describe the intensity of the Bills' team?
Yeah, I think it's just two really good football teams going up against each other. They have great players at every level on both sides of the ball, and they're well coached. And so when you play great football teams like that, it kind of usually ends with kind of that split type of deal there. And so we've been able to beat them in the playoffs, and they've gotten us in the regular season. But if you look at the games, every game's close. So it just comes down to a play here or there that kind of usually it makes an impact on the outcome.
How much do you appreciate like the chess match between you guys since you played them so many times and so many important levels, just back and forth the different defensive calls and everything that goes with it?
Yeah, I think when you look at the great rivalries of the NFL, it comes with this. It comes with playing at each other every year in the regular season. It comes with playing in the playoffs, and you have to combat. You have to look at your weaknesses and try to make those strengths, and then your strengths make them even better because you know that they're going to go out there and try to take away those things. And so it's a great football team. Like I said, great players, well coached, and we know it's going to take our best in order to find a way to get a win.
You don't play against Josh directly, obviously, but what is that sort of matchup with quarterback of his caliber do in your own mind as you're preparing for the game?
I think you just have to know you're going to have to play your best football. I mean, I've played against Josh enough times to know that he's going to come out there and play great football, especially in those big moments. And so for me, I have to play my best football whenever I get the opportunity to and try to put our team in the best position to succeed. And if that's limiting turnover, if that's changing the field position, whatever that is, you have to find a way that day to win. And when you go up against a great quarterback, it takes your best as well.
Understanding you guys won the game, which is all that matters. With Hollywood and DeAndre, I know they had the 3 targets. What did you see in film that maybe led to more of a Travis-centric, Xavier-centric type of effort on them?
Yeah, I think I said that to the game a little bit. I think just I mean, there was attention paid to them, and they made sure to put a shell over the top of those guys, and that allowed the middle of the field to be open for Travis. And so that's kind of how you have to do in this league is whenever certain matchups are working for you, you go to those, and then you still want to have that option though. And I think we'll try to be better this week of giving them more and more opportunities downfield. But I think even in the one where we didn't complete it, the one down the field, it kind of scared them out of I mean, the next play, Travis hits one over the middle and makes a big play happen. So that's trying to the versatility of the offense and just finding that day and what's working best.
You've talked in the past, it seems like every year at the end of camp you say, hey, I'm glad I don't have to go against Spagnuolo's defense.
Mm-hmm.
What leads you to say that? What is it about his defenses that are so difficult?
Yeah, I mean, you see it when we play. It's just everything looks so similar, but then he has so many different variety of coverages and blitzes and different things that he can do. And so you can never get a feel for what he's going to call because he'll just throw in random coverages and stuff like that every single series, it seems like. And it's hard to prepare for. It's hard to go up against. And like I said, I'm glad I don't have to do it during the regular season, but it prepares me for the season because I have to kind of the mastermind that I go up against all training camp.
Patrick, with so many of these games being close, what do you think is the X factor of being able to host the AFC Championship at home, whether it's routine, crowd noise?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I mean, Arrowhead's just a special place. I mean, you get a feeling when you step in the stadium, and you know the history and the greatness that has been played at this football stadium, and I think that kind of feeds the football team. And then the crowd is great at being quiet when we're on offense, being extremely loud whenever our defense is out there, and you feel that passion that the fans have. It's true, it's real, and they want us to go out there and be the best that we can possibly be, and so we want to go out there and put up our best fight every single time we're on that field.
Patrick, your last interception was against the Bills. You had 2 in that game, and then you got a streak 8 without an interception. Was there anything coming out of that game that just gave you, was a learning point for you, and kind of an inflection point? And what's kind of been the key to this streak?
I just kind of continue to play football. I mean, if you look at the beginning of the year, I mean, I had some interceptions, and so I just had to try to clean those up as best I can, but I'm going to still take chances. I'm going to give guys chances to make plays, and guys have been making plays. And so in that game, the early interception I felt like hurt the team just with the momentum of the game, especially being at their home stadium. But the guy was open. I just got to set my feet and make the throw. And then the last one is I'm going to go down fighting at the end of every game. And I was trying to make a throw on a 4th down play, and a guy made a great play. And so I just go out there and play. I don't worry about that stuff. I try to just put our team in the best position to succeed. And if that's taking a chance and giving a guy a chance to make a play, I'll do that. And if that's taking care of the football and letting our defense go out there and get a stop to put us in better position, I'll do that.
We talked about Xavier a lot this year, and at this point it seems like he almost has like that Travis level of trust. What do you think has been the key as the years gone
Yeah, I think just repetition and then seeing how he works every single day. He's a guy that works extremely hard, practices extremely hard, and the more and more chances and opportunities I've given him, he's kind of taken them and ran with them. And just like the one down the sideline early in the game, just putting the ball up there, one-on-one matchup, letting him make a play. And so I'm excited for how he's progressed throughout this season, and hopefully we can progress for a few more games, and then that'll be a taking off point going into next year.
Patrick, can you go through the differences you take into account when it comes to scrambling during the regular season versus the height and some of the importance of finding the right time to do it in the postseason?
Yeah, I think just you just know that in the regular season, I don't want to say you're like trying not to get injured, but you're trying to protect yourself knowing that it's a long season. Whereas when you're in the playoffs, you might take a few more chances here and there to try to get those first downs.
As you look back through the year, as far as fair whistle, as you look back through the year, as far as fair whistle, not a fair whistle, I mean, does it feel to you like you've gotten protection or anything like that from officials that's not around the rest of quarterbacks in the league?
I don't feel that way. I mean, I just try to play football at the end of the day. The referees are doing their best to call the game as fair and as proper as they possibly can, and all you can do is go out there and play the game that you love as hard as you can and live with the results. And so for me, it's to go out there, play hard, try to do whatever I can to win the football game, and then live with the results based off my effort and the way that we played the game. And so I think that's what we preach here in Kansas City.
Does it feel any different for you as a veteran now? Do you eventually earn the benefit of the doubt at some point in your career, or has it been the same the whole time?
I haven't felt any different. You get new referees every year. You get new circumstances, and you never can really tell because every play is different. That's what makes the NFL so special. And so I feel like I've just continued to play the game, and I just try to win, and whatever happens kind of happens.
Patrick, you know Travis so well by now. I wonder if you learned anything new about him this season, as the way the season unfurled?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I think I've always known how great of a leader he is. I preach it every year, and the way that he works every single day, and it makes my job easier as another leader on the team. And so I knew he was going to do what he did in the playoffs because every time the moment gets bigger, he plays better, and he'll do whatever it takes to win. And that's the type of guys you want on your football team, and I'm glad he's on mine.
I don't think there's any real reason to think that he's going to retire after this year, but I suppose people are thinking about it and talking about it. Have you pondered that possibility, or any thoughts about that?
I haven't. I mean, that's stuff that I think you worry about in the off season. But regardless, I just appreciate every time I'm on the football field with him. And that started whenever I first got here. I mean, I knew how blessed I was to have that guy on my team. And so every opportunity I get to step on that football field, I appreciate it. And hopefully that's a lot more years, but I'll appreciate every time I do.
Patrick, you faced Von Miller since he came to the league at age 35. What kind of issues does he still present?
Yeah, he's still just an extreme playmaker. He's an effective pass rusher. He knows how to get to the football. And it seems like he knows how to make plays in the biggest moments. He's one of those guys. And so someone you have to account for on every single snap. Just like last week, he makes a big play. It seems like he makes a big play. I mean, that's why he was a Super Bowl MVP. And so they have a really good defense just in general, but he's definitely a leader on that team.
Look for the challenge of playing the Bills. Good football team, as we know. Sean does a great job, as do his coaches, and they've got good players. So we've got to have a good week of preparation there. With that, time's yours.
Andy, in the previous game against Houston, DeAndre Hopkins, Juju Smith-Schuster, Hollywood combined for no catches. Is that just something along the game, but how are you going to try to get more involved in this game against Buffalo?
Yeah, that's the way it worked out. I mean, we want to use all of them, so they're all good players. There was just one ball, so it happened to go the other direction, but it's not for any reason that it didn't come their way. But they're all part of it. Yeah.
Andy, what's the challenge been like this year with all the injuries and different people coming in and out? Each week, try to get that plan that works. Has this been different than any other years in the past in that regard?
The last few weeks have been great. Just everybody's been up and ready to go, so hasn't been a problem that way. You know, they're all getting in and having a chance to play. It's just, as far as the pass game goes, it just depends on where the ball's headed, you know, but we have full trust in all of them. They're all really good players. So.
Andy, you talked the other day about doing better defensively on third down against the Bills than you did last time around. What are the challenges of doing that successfully against this particular opponent and this particular opposing quarterback?
Yeah, they do a good job offensively on third down, likewise on defense. But their third down offense is, first of all, their offense is very good, just in general. So it's not just third downs, but it's a big challenge. You got the flexibility of the quarterback being able to throw and run. You've got good receivers. They're a powerful, strong offense.
Andy, when the Bills have forced 36 takeaways this year, how well do they marry their coverage with their pressure to produce?
Yeah, they do a great job with that. They're one of the top teams in the league at that year after year. Sean does a nice job with that. He's got a great background with all that stuff, so he does a heck of a job. And as Bobby, does.
Xavier brought that ball in down the left sideline. I know that had been a thing for him earlier in the year. Generally speaking, just how have you seen him elevate to almost like a second-year player as
He's gotten better every week. He's more familiar. Pat's more familiar with him. He's more familiar with the offense and what Pat expects from him. Connor's done a nice job of spending time with him to make sure he's got all the different looks. So it's the main thing is he's wired the way where he wants to be good, and that's a big part of it. He wants to know and let his ego get in the way or any of that. And he's got good teachers in there. You're in a room with 8 and 9 and 84. Those guys have all played a lot of football, and they're willing to share. And so it's that's a heck of a room to be in.
Coach, everything gets bigger the week of the conference title games. I'm just curious, what's the biggest advantage of having so many of your guys who have played on this stage?
Yeah, listen, it normally doesn't hurt, for sure. I don't know how you weigh out the advantage of it. But I feel like we play these guys all the time, so they know us, we know them. But I'm glad, to answer your question, I'm glad we have all those guys, and you'll need all of them. So.
You face guys you've worked with many times and even Sean many times. Does it even register with you at this point going into a game about that past?
No, other than you kind of look at the tape. So he's looking at our games and against them, and we're looking at our games against them. So you see all of that. You kind of get an idea that we've played each other quite a little bit. And
And do you feel like, is there any game within the game, cat and mouse, not that anybody would state what advantage there would be either way, but does Sean knowing you a certain way and you knowing Sean a certain way?
oh, I'm sure, yeah. You're going to always give each other a different look. I don't want to slight Bobby either. He does a heck of a job with it too. So that as Matt does and Spag. So the coordinators are the ones putting things together and making it go, and then Sean and I get to stand and watch there. So.
Coach, I think it's the final day of practice window for Nicole. Is any decision on whether he's going to be able to go this year?
We'll probably put him back on IR there. Yeah.
Coach, can you talk about the benefit of having a running back like Kareem Hunt in this short yardage situation?
Yeah, listen, he's a good player. I don't want to just narrow him down to the short yardage part, but to answer your question, I think he does a heck of a job with it. He's got a knack for that. He's a big kid and strong. I appreciate his willingness to get in there and go on that stuff. And they're normally real small cracks that he's working through. So sometimes you see him go through sideways, and that. Well, that's not a lot of guys can do that with power like he does.